Good afternoon, everybody. It is 12 o'clock. Charlie, you are looking debonair with your new haircut.
I finally got my hair cut off.
I'm looking in the thing, and I'm like, God, Charlie, you do it because you were getting
rough.
You were getting a little long there with your hair.
Yes, I was. It was getting rough there.
I ended up grabbing a haircut too. We had to straighten it out a little bit. You know, I'm doing the hat. My daughter wanted to point out that my hairline was going backwards as I was. I said, thanks, Ashlyn. I appreciate that. So I'm going to definitely keep the hat on and let that hairline recede a little bit more. It is 12 o'clock. We are here at the WeBeam Studios. We are doing full throttle vision. Charlie, how's everything going?
It's going great. We're starting to pick up a little bit. Folks starting to call, put a few ads in. I know that we got Tampa Harley Davidson, I believe, is going to be back with us.
I'm not sure what the cover is going to be. They said they wanted to reserve it. So, but just selling the cover for a month was pretty exciting because we didn't do that for April or May. So just having it sold to somebody is great. You know, I'm not sure if it's for Tampa, Brandon, Newport, Richie, but I'm sure it's one of those three.
Oh, yeah.
That they're doing something.
Who knows? It may be all three. Yeah,
it might be all three. I'm sure they got a lot of things going on out there. At Maggie got a hold of me, Gary Bang. They're doing a lot of good stuff. I'm looking at everybody saying, well, I see Charlie or Eddie, Amber, what's going on? Nikki, Ty, what's going on, everybody? Dave Jacobs, want to say everybody hello. Before we get into some of this stuff, don't forget, one of the things that is new to Facebook and is new to our page itself, because it's hard to get this out, because you have to have a lot of likes, is the stars. Stars are something where it's like a tipping feature. Every 1 star, we get how much per star, Charlie? Do you remember?
A penny a star, wasn't it?
A penny a star. So we get a penny a star. I know it's not a lot. It is what it is. It's Facebook. It's doing a new thing. And I think you have to purchase the stars and then you could tip with them. I'm not sure how it works. I would hope some way if you have a lot, you could get stars somehow, some way by being influencers or something like that. But I know you got to purchase stars and then you can tip people with stars. So that's a new thing. It's down below. You'll see it. It says give them stars or something like that. That's a new thing. I'm not going to beg for them. I'm just letting you know if you see what the stars are, that's what it is. So if we see you guys tip us stars, we're going to say thank you. I see Brett and Gabor on there. How's it going? Eddie, let's talk about Eddie's show he did Wednesday.
Yeah, I did a big show with Eddie across the street from Quaker at the new Birch Barracuda Harley Davidson. And when we come up, you was sneaking, peeking on it on your phone there.
Well, and what was cool is we had WeBeam TV out there, and they did a great job. We were set up like multiple different places, and it was so cool because you had Eddie doing kind of like what do you call it, a nighttime show, you know, like the Johnny Carson, where he's sitting at a desk and he's interviewing people. He interviewed Bert, and then interviewed. I
think Beth got in on it.
Beth got in. She was doing. They did Cards Against Humanity, of all things. They did Cards Against Humanity, and oh my gosh, they were hilarious. I ended up watching that series back, and I was like, okay, that was funny stuff because you know, Cards Against Humanity is vulgar at best. Okay, I mean it is not a kid's game.
No.
And you pick this one card and it says like, you know, I ate and drank this. And the other cards have vulgar comments and you put them down and then you shuffle them and you read them off and you're laughing at the answers and then you pick the best one and that person wins. And a great game and a lot of fun. And what a good show because we were bouncing back and forth. It's like a news show. Like, hey, we're going to go out to Trisha Takanawa and, you know, the Family Guy reference.
Yeah. So, and it went good. Like I said, y'all didn't he come over afterwards and do some live feed over at Quaker Bike Night, or?
So that was part of it. Like they were shooting at Bert's, and Michelle and I from Fran Hosh were sitting there with Bill Church, and they shot over to us, and we did like a little interview from Quaker Steak and Lube, showed what's going on, threw it back to them, then they did a game. It was very cool and unique and well put together by WeBeam TV, and that's where we're at here at WeBeam Studio. So if you guys want, don't forget, get a hold of John. There's an ad in this month's magazine where you can get all the information you need. You guys want to do a show. In fact, Valerie
Valerie
from
does
Rider
a Saturday show, I believe it is, ain't it?
I believe we got a little picture of her show that we can talk about and bring up on the air right there. There's Valerie. She's doing a charity and benefit-driven multimedia TV show. Kind of cool, huh?
And then also me and John's been kind of kicking around the idea of starting some sort of full throttle sports show or something like that, because you know, to do something like that, because you know we are hoping sports get started back up. I've been kind of stalling a little till we get a few things done. We know NASCAR's starting back up Saturday, so
Was it 8 races in 10 days or
8
something?
races in 10. All the makeup dates for all the races they missed, they're going to just go out. In fact, they had their draw for the pole yesterday, and it was the old bingo balls or whatever.
Oh, is that how they did it?
Yep.
All right, I see a couple other people. Brandy Lee's watching, Melissa Lane, Lori Joe. Lori Joe's up at, I want to say she's up at Screwy Louie's getting ready for the West Coast Florida Riders event this weekend.
So.
You got Ken Arendt saying hello. Oh, there's Dana. Wait, there's Dana. Oh, wait, there's Dana.
Yeah,
No, I'm
there's
just
Dana.
It wouldn't connect. I had to
They're doing Melissa Lane said the puppy bowl.
kidding. The Puppy Bowl?
Yeah. Of course, she's very big into animal rescue and things like, especially for dogs. So, I know Melissa has a couple of dogs that are available for rescue. So,
Oh, really?
if you're looking for pets or something, make sure you message Melissa Lane, and she'll get you all set up. She's got some real good pets ready to go.
That's awesome. Well, we've had some talk. Did you get to see the flyover today? I missed it. I didn't
did
get
not.
to see it. We're up here in Pasco, and it didn't. Which I'm a little upset that they didn't come all the way up to Pasco.
They just kind of made the loop like around Tampa, St. Pete, and that was about it.
They could have extended that flight line up to Pasco because, there's 3 or 4 big hospitals up here. You got Nice, Countryside, Morton Plant up this way. I was super surprised when I saw how it cut around and it went, just over the bay and then back down. I'm like, you're going to go down to Sarasota, but you're not going to go up to Pasco County? I mean, at least northern Pinellas. I mean, they didn't even go up the middle Pinellas. They went down and around, and I was like, man, I really would have liked to seen that. Now, I saw a bunch of people live streaming it, so I got to see it anyway, but it would have been nice. What did they fly
Pasco
over?
County's kind of like the unwanted stepchild of the Tampa Bay area sometimes.
Catch something if they fly over at Pasco, right?
Yep. Somebody wrote, said, hey, love bugs are out. You need to have them removed. Text me. That was Brett.
That's funny. Hey, love bugs. That's right. He is. He does detailing and stuff like that. You need to get it done. Brett Rector, get a hold of him. He'll get them cleaned off. Yeah, I had a chance to go riding. Dan and them said, he goes, you want to go riding this weekend? I said, do you see the amount of love bugs that are out here right now? I said, not a chance am I going to go riding. Not that I don't mind getting hit by love bugs. I got a windshield, but the hours of painstaking cleaning afterwards trying to get the love bugs off is what I didn't want to do.
Yeah, well, I've already scrubbed them off of Georgia Boy's truck and Dana's car once, and Dana drove home, and they were already right back on it. It looked like I didn't even touch it.
I'm telling you, I love my birthday, but I hate the love bugs around my birthday every year. Every year around May, they come flocking out, and they can flock back and take the flock out of the flock of those stinking love bugs.
So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock, I guess.
What is it, Charlie Three Finger back in the day used to say, when love bug season comes, you always keep ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise packets in your vest. And I said, what the hell would you do that for? He said, you rub it on your teeth and you smile and you get a free meal as you ride down the road.
Yeah, they taste better that way.
I said, oh, that's disgusting. He goes, hey, when you're hungry, you eat whatever. I'm like, I ain't that hungry. And those things smell already. I can't imagine they taste good. But he's like, rub it on your teeth and smile and go down the road. I was
not
like,
something I really want to try.
no, love bugs are.
Brian York just signed on. Hey, Brian.
Brian, what's going on? Oh, Brett Rector, I know secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you notice, we're kind of looking at our phone a little more today. John and them's doing some upgrading here at the studio.
Which is great.
So they took out my cheat board and laptop for today. They're putting in new cameras and things like that. So I don't have my monitor in front of me, so I keep kind of having to turn a little bit. And we're using our phone. So he's really upgrading the studio, going to do all the high-tech stuff, putting in all the electronic movable cameras and things like that.
I think what we want to do, I want to see if we can get over in the green screen and put do you guys have virtual backdrops? Yeah? Oh, cool. We might do that one week and do a virtual backdrop.
Hey, maybe we can do it like the show before I leave to go to Sturgis or something and have like the buffalo chip or something in the background, something like that.
You know what? Speaking of the buffalo chip and Sturgis, that was a great segue there, Charlie.
Hey,
I like how you did that.
Well, sometimes even a blind squirrel finds a nut,
I went and I looked at, because somebody said it was something back till September. I said, no, it's not. Sturgis is still on, same time, August 7th through the, that's our trip we're going. We're leaving from here. We got to start putting this together now, because it's getting to that point. So we got to find the route where we're going to go, tell you what hotel rooms. I mean, again, we got to fight that whole COVID crap. So, I mean, we're not doing it too late, I don't think. But it's going to be $100 per person to ride with us. What that's going to do is help pay for the gas in the trucks, help if you guys need anything breakdown, we'll be there in vehicles. So if you break down, we can put it on there. We're also going to use some of that money to do a food night in Sturgis at the Buffalo Chip. We're going to get some dogs and run up to the local Walmart, get a grill and do some grilling and make a little party for us, get some alcohol and...
Now, what we are going to be looking for, if you're going to be using an open trailer and a box trailer, we need another open trailer big enough to haul 2 Harleys and Georgia Boy's trike. So if anybody has an open trailer out there that we can borrow to take that way, because I know you want to bring an open trailer in case somebody wants to load their bike, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I want to ride, but I don't know if my bagger's going to make that. Because a custom bagger with that 30 on there, and I don't know if that's got the...
Or me and Georgia Boy would take the bagger and you just drive the truck and be supervisor or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But
all I know is I'd love to get it. I got to get it in and get some things done. Oh, yeah, Tattooed Sweethearts has something going on at Hellbenders. Did you see the last Tattooed Sweetheart? That was pretty good.
Now, I think Hellbenders purchased the old Tampa V-twin, didn't they?
Tampa V-twin, and then I just saw about Venom. It says "Welcome to Bootleggers" on Venom.
Yes, the restaurant is now Bootleggers.
That's right. So
Venom's still there. Min still owns it. Everything else, he just rented the restaurant part out to Bootleggers.
And then Venom's moving up to Primetime.
Venom's moving his stuff up to Primetime.
Lots of changes, lots of good stuff. Hopefully, you're going to see it in the next Full Throttle magazine issue. In fact, we'll talk about that real quick. We got some deadline times and available pricing and stuff like that of what we're doing right now for the June issue. Our deadline's going to be May 26th.
Yeah, so a week from today.
Tuesday, no.
Next week's Friday's the 22nd.
A couple, almost 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks from Tuesday, last Tuesday. So again, the cover sold. We did decrease our pricing. So if you look up there, you'll see that the pricing for a full page is only $300, which is half of what it normally is. It's $600 for a full page normally. You know, with this COVID and everything, we had to kind of let everybody go. Charlie's, you know, we're still here, but you know, just trying to make ends meet. We're printing less magazines, you know, but we're promoting more of our social media online.
Yep.
And you know, and getting more views on our online stuff. So, you know, when it comes down to printing the magazines, we're printing a bunch and putting them into Harleys in the big spots. You know, we're not printing as many as we should be or were before. Of course, you know, it's not the size it was before. It's not the, you know, but we're surviving through this mess. You know, there's others that
redesigned the website, so trying to make it a little more friendly. I know that they're working on maybe putting the blog or vlog in where we can do some blogging, and there's the website, and then of course you see the new setup. So that way we can do a little more with it, you know, and try to, you know, and of course the younger generation goes more to the website, but we still want to keep the old folks like Georgia Boy and stuff. They still like to pick up the hard copy, and Fran still likes to have the hard copies out.
Attorney Fran Hosh is amazing in everything she does. She's made the COVID masks for people. They're still out there feeding some of the people and everything. They sponsor almost everything there is in this industry, you know. And then she puts out this letter, you know, for the COVID and does our back cover every month and puts this out saying, you know, I don't know if we still have it, we can bring it up, but it says, as a dedicated member of our community, the Fran Hosh Law Group is closely monitoring the impact of COVID-19. As always, we are committed to supporting those affected during the crisis and will be here with unwavering allegiance when it is over. With common sense, compassion, and social responsibility, we will get through this together. You and your family are in our prayers. May God bless everyone with health and safety. That's amazing. She doesn't have to do that. You know what I mean? But she cares about the people that they take care of, you know?
And while you're on Fran Hosh, Brandy sent me a thing. It says, Tattoo Sweethearts have a bikini bike wash this Saturday at Hellbender's new location in Land O'Lakes, sponsored by Attorney Fran Hosh.
Oh.
And so we had a chance to go out to that location. Of course, it's the old Tampa V-twin in Land O'Lakes. So
I see a couple more people. Brenda, Keith O'Keefe, what's going on? There's
Keith,
Aaron
man,
Melling.
we're ready for you to get your bike in the bike shows, man. We miss you. It's not a bike show if you're not sitting there blasting your radio so damn loud you can't understand what anything you're saying, but he's kind of become a part of it there, you know what I mean?
Yes, he has. There's Simon, there's Ken. Ken Starling's on there watching. So lots of people getting on the show today and watching. We're having a good time talking about a lot of good stuff. Let's discuss this Soaked and Sore Ass ride, because there's a little bit around this Soaked and Sore Ass ride that we have to discuss right now. I'm more positive today than I was yesterday. Every day's a step forward, because I don't. When does the Santos talk again? Is it noon? 1?
Noon, yep.
Okay, so he's probably on discussing right now phase 2 of opening Florida.
Yep.
Which is, you know, the bars and restaurants and opening restaurants from 25 to 50%. And, you know, it's a gradual open. But right now, I don't know how this is affected, but the Keys are basically on shutdown, right? You can't get into the Keys.
They have 2 checkpoints where they're turning people around. And sadly, I got that might end up in court. I was reading that a lot of people are saying, hey, you can't block off a public road, you know, and it's sad that it's coming down to that. But, you know, people are ready to get to living again. So hopefully they'll work with the governor and get the keys.
It's a health thing. I mean, we all know it's a health thing.
They gave a little. They started letting people make reservations in hotels and stuff.
So they are. Okay, so again, every day's a positive. I think the Isle Morada is a great location for us to go. I'm super excited. Patches were just shipped out, so no matter what, we have patches that say Isle Morada. So whether we go from here or to Isle Morada or to St. Augustine, you're getting an Isle Morada patch. The shirt will be changed. I haven't done the shirt yet, so bear with us on that. But you can see right there the information. June 13th, we wanted to be proactive, right, on this whole thing, Charlie, and still plan for this big event.
And I tell you what, the people who's already paid has been great. We've only had like maybe 1 or 2 that said, "Oh, I've already made." You know, everybody else is like, "Hey, wherever you're going, you know, we're in. Just let us know how we're doing it."
And I did the live stream where I asked people what you thought and make a plan B. And most people were 100% going, "Listen, we understand if the Keys are closed and you can't get down there, we got to change it. Or if we're going to go to St. Augustine, then great, we'll go to St. Augustine." There's a better exit strategy from St. Augustine. We just went there 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
3 years ago, I believe it was.
3 years ago. So I try not to go back to the same spot too soon.
Because I know a lot of people's vote was Panama City, but we went there last year.
We went there last year.
So if push comes to shove, we may have to go back there next year, but we try to go.
St. Augustine was also, Savannah
was a big one.
But I don't want to go out of state right now with this going on. So again, I put a lot of questions out there.
And when we do Savannah, you got to put the big parentheses, bring your helmet, so as soon as you get to the Georgia state line, you got to put your helmet on.
Yeah, Georgia state line, and I remember we did that, the year we did it, it rained. Whenever with the stop time and everything, the minute you hit that Georgia border, it rained all the way up to Savannah. The people were soaked and miserable, and it did not turn into a fun time, but it was a good ride, and everybody loved it. So Plan A is still Plan A, which is Isle Morada.
Yep.
All right. We starting at Quaker Steak and Lube. You can bring that back up and we can talk about it. But we are going to start at Quaker Steak and Lube, whether it's St. Augustine or Isle Morada. We're starting at Quaker Steak. He's going to do a breakfast with sandwiches and coffee and donuts and all types of good stuff. So we're going to start at Quaker Steak and Lube. We always tell you to bring your rain gear because you're going to get wet. In June, July, you cannot ride in the state of Florida without finding some rain.
Yep. It's like state law. It's got to rain somewhere in Florida during that time.
Well, it is rainy season.
It is the rainy season, and hurricane actually season, which, sharks with laser beams is going to be our next,
And of course, if it's to St. Augustine, they might have the choice of the dirt road to the.
I looked at that. I meant to tell you we could do that.
Or go around up to Jacksonville and go across the St. James River there.
So I made a route, and the route does allow us to go through the Ocala National Forest. Now, going through the Ocala National Forest, I want to say last time we went to St. Augustine, no, not this last time, like 8 years ago last time we went to St. Augustine. We gave you an option to go on a barge that crossed the river, St. John's River, or go around it. Now, we didn't know what the road looked like getting to the barge. What was the road, Charlie?
The sand, and it was dry. Of course, it was dry, so it was really, really fun on bikes.
Sand and washboard. So it was, and then if you stopped, you hit sand and you just fell over. And it was, oh man, there were so many mad people at us. But I said, you had a choice. The choice was you could go around and gave you directions, or you can go up and through and cross on the barge.
And of course, Georgia Boy took the easy way out. He rode in a truck.
But that was, hey, listen, I drove the truck that year. I put it on that barge to see what that was like. That was terrifying to watch the truck on a barge going across, because the barge is 100 years old.
Yep.
It is not brand new and beautiful and big. It's 100 years old and small. Like, I think the truck, I don't know if 2 cars would have fit on it. The truck fit on it fine. I remember somebody sending me a picture. They had, I want to say 5 or 6 bikes and like 10 people on the barge, and I was I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that.
Yeah. And then Alana, of course, last time we went, it rained, so we didn't do that, went around because the road was so bad. And yes, it did rain a lot, Alana, so it was crazy.
Is that somebody saying that they went on it?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Beth's watching from Bert's Barracuda Harley Davidson. Bert, what's going on, Beth? Jason Lisa's watching. What's going on? Michelle Steves. Boy, a lot of people watching today.
That's
Maddie Isabel? Isbel? Isbel. Maddie Isbel.
And well, she is a graduate.
Graduate going, you gotta hate the fact that she's going to Alabama, don't you?
Well, it's killing her mama more than me, but yeah, I mean, she looked into a lot of, but what she wants to major in, you know, is at Alabama. She looked into others. I think Louisiana Lafayette might have been the second closest or something like that.
She got into Florida State.
And she got into Florida State, and her mama said hell no, and she was so happy when they dropped her major.
So.
Now, Alabama's taking good care of her too, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, she got a great scholarship. Yes,
Alabama's giving her that cheddar that she can go to school for nothing for.
Yep.
So, but what we want to talk about with Maddie is, you know, Dana came up with an idea and said, you know, Full Throttle, can I buy an ad for my graduating senior?
Yes, because so many senior proms and the parties and everything where they do all the pictures and stuff have been canceled.
Yes.
And so Dana came up with a thing and got with Tony, and so I guess maybe you're going to do maybe a section next month if we get enough.
If we get enough people that want to do it, like you said, a quarter page is $75. It's going to cost you that to put an ad in a yearbook, you know. So if you want to do, we'll put you in there, John.
If you want to congratulate your graduatee,
Was $300 just for a half.
So $300 for a half page, and some of the other yearbooks. Well, you could do a quarter page ad in Full Throttle magazine congratulating your senior or whatever grade. If you want to do a fifth grader moving into sixth grade, or middle schooler, or college graduate. Our doors are open for advertising, and I don't want to sound beggy or needy or anything like that.
Well, it's a great thing to do for our community because we're kind of trying to make up where others have canceled. It gives them a little something.
Yeah, bike nights are, we don't have a lot of advertising right now, but they're coming back. I know, I have a feeling June, July is going to be full of bike nights again. We're going to be in stage 3 or 4 or 7 or whatever of opening at that point, and things are going to go. But
speaking of Quaker, if you've not been the last 2 Wednesdays to Quaker, you got to come out and see. It's been great.
Wednesday's been busy there.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, social distance perfectly.
Yeah, the 10 or less at tables, things like that. But it's been great to talk to somebody else besides just the cats or anybody else. And that's what a lot of people are enjoying.
It was good to hear music. It was good to see people. Fist bumping and trying to elbow bumps, fist bumps.
And I've heard tell that
people.
He's had a soloist the past few, but I hear tell that maybe Bill's thinking about maybe bringing in one of the full bands here pretty close.
As soon as we can, this next step, which he's talking about right now. If anybody's watching DeSantos, please let me know what he says. But I know they're moving it up to like no groups of 50 or less. 50 or less, that's a lot. You went from 10 or less to 50 or less. Okay, now we're starting to get things back to normal, and I'm excited for that. I see Michelle is on there, and I want to talk a little bit about Wednesday nights. So Wednesday, Everywhere Eddie's show is going to be every other Wednesday. So that ran this Wednesday.
Yep.
This Wednesday coming up, Michelle and I are going to be live from Quaker Steak and Lube with probably Charlie and everybody. We're going to sit down and talk to people, grab the bands, play some games, kind of just do a live from Quaker Steak and Lube. So that way, every Wednesday, you could catch up what's going on at, with Full Throttle Magazine and attorney Fran Hosh and everybody at Bert's Barracuda or Quaker Steak and Lube. So we're going to touch on that every Wednesday. So every other Wednesday is going to be the Ever Ready Show. Every other Wednesday, that's going to be us sitting at Quaker Steak and Lube, talking to people, interviewing, bringing up events that are coming up, anything Fran Hosh is sponsoring, anything Full Throttle sponsoring, so all that good stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have, I got some ideas on some little games we're going to play too, and keep it fun and exciting and energetic, and just see what's going on. So if you can't make bike night one night, you can watch the show.
Oh yeah, so it's all fun. And of course, there are a few other restaurants. I know bars are chomping at the bit to try to get going. A few other restaurants starting to have a few little gatherings out in their parking lots. And they're doing the parking lots. That way they got room for everybody to kind of spread out, all that good stuff. And I know there's been a few, naysayers try to throw the wet blanket. But it's kind of the thing, if you want to come, come. If you don't want to come and stay safe, stay home safe, then fine, do that too. That's the great thing. Open up and let people make their own decisions of whether they want to come or not. If you
That's
don't
called
want to
freedom,
come,
right?
Yep, that's called freedom.
I mean, let me get back to that. Isn't that called freedom? Why we live in the United States of America?
You know, I know a lot of people ask, you know, where's Fran? Where's Fran? Of course, we know Fran family has allergies, things like that. Of course, we want her to stay home safe. In fact, we would demand her stay home safe,
Yeah,
you know, and
absolutely.
everything else. You know, and we support her 100%. Anybody wants to do that. But we also support, hey, if you want to come out, you know, and chat a little bit, get out of the house, get a little fresh air, you know, and enjoy it, come on out too. That's the great thing about America.
Since they started opening the states, Florida and Georgia, our tests are worth down 14%. What's that tell you? I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't want to get into numbers and crap because I hate this whole stuff. But, you know, since they opened the state, our numbers are down. Okay? And since they opened the state and you know, and opened the beaches, our numbers are down. You know, there's got to be something to that. You got to get out there and fresh air, seawater. You know what? We've lived on it for this long. There's got to be some good healing aspects to fresh air and seawater.
And there's been a little talk that one of the best ways to fight coronavirus is to build up your own immunity system. You know, and we hate to see anyone lose their life, of course. You know, that we don't want to see that at all. We want to see everybody survive. But unfortunately, we don't want to see anybody lose their life to cancer, or like one of the gentlemen who played at our expo, you know, Brian Howe, you know, he passed away of a heart attack.
I can't believe that.
Sudden heart attack.
Yeah.
You know, if we had the magic wand, we'd cure everybody. But it's a part of our life, and we need to learn to live with it, work with it. And
it's not going away.
No,
it's not going to go away.
It's like your brother-in-law sleeping on the couch. It ain't in your den. It's not going anywhere. You might as well just step over it and work around it.
I see a bunch more people. Valerie's up here. Jamie Moore watching. Britoni. Tony, what's going on? Michelle's saying, Fran Hush is missing everybody dearly. They were just talking about that. You know, I haven't seen Fran's face except on like, you know, we've done a couple, what do you call them, Zoom conferences and stuff like that. But, you know, I miss Fran being out and Rhett coming out. And
well, she sponsored us for a ride. You know, we had to go out and pick up some stuff, and we did this. They put it in a place. We went, picked it up there. You know what? And that's fine. You know, if we want Fran and her family to stay safe,
absolutely,
and everything else, and we'll support her whatever she does, and we'll, you know, and anybody else who wants to stay in, you know, we're 100% for that. That is the great freedom, you know. But some of us want to kind of get back out, and we have to with our jobs. We have to get back out there.
Yes, we do. It's happening. I know
you
that.
Know, mass gatherings is the heartbeat of Florida's economy.
The keys. We need the keys open, Charlie.
You know,
we need them keys open.
They're opening our Universal Studios limited a little bit. They're talking about opening, you know, Disney again.
They just opened Disney Springs.
They're opening Disney Springs and Universal City Walk. Yep, the free areas. You know, because Florida's economy, whether it's the beach, whether it's bike nights, whether it's concerts, whether it's I mean, half of our economy is all about mass gatherings.
And speaking of mass gatherings, guess what was rescheduled for November 13th through the 15th?
Hey, that was another thing. You know, we're glad they had to reschedule it. You know, there was some things happening in it. They were going to push it to next year, but they had to work really fast, and Tony let the cat out of the bag.
Rob, bring that up. You got Leesburg Bike Fest rescheduled for November. Now, Leesburg is probably, you know, I can tell you where it's located. It's right next to hell. It's so hot there. It's right next to it. Because you are in the middle of the state. There isn't a cool breeze to be found in that city right there. I'm telling you right now. But you do this in November when the weather's cooler, where camping's better, because everybody goes out there and camps.
I tell you what, they may end up saying, hey, we vote to move it to the
or
cooler
do it twice. You know, you want to bear the heat, do it in you know, mid to end of April and in November. I don't see any reason why two events can't happen. That event can't be twice a year.
Because it's not like it's a school thing, because April's still in school, stuff like that. So who knows? You know, they may.
November. I mean, so November's already planning up to be. You got early November is what?
November 7th, the Acadia Bike Fest moved that date back to the end from April. The next weekend, of course, is Leesburg
Bike Fest, and then St. Pete Beach Bike Fest, and then Thanksgiving. And then you have the Bert's Toy Run, and we were talking with there's another event coming in. We did it last year in Lakeland, that indoor, that's going to be the first weekend of December. Then you got all the toy runs. November, and just, I think October is going to start backing up because everything's already booked in November and December.
We start really in August, you know. Sturgis has really just dug their fangs in and said, this is the 80th, we're having it.
They're having it. I haven't seen a waiver at all.
No.
Honestly, I haven't seen a waiver for a second.
Then the next weekend after that, I believe it's Laconia that moved theirs back to the weekend after after Sturgis. I think Ocean City moved theirs back. Myrtle Beach are talking about doing just 2 weeks in a row to make up for...
Myrtle, I think people are up in Myrtle now. They're doing something up there now. Let's see, Leesburg, yes, Eddie's saying Leesburg will be awesome. I agree.
So Romy said the same thing?
After looking okay, so if Leesburg would have happened at the same time it would have normally happened this year, I don't know if you remember or not, but that Friday when we would have done our bike show, it was that bad storm came through and everything got blown over. So in retrospect, our show probably would have not happened at Leesburg because it was Friday and it was crappy and rainy, and Saturday and Sunday were beautiful, of course. Because you ever want some bad storm or rain or hail or locusts or killer wasps from it, just have Full Throttle plan an event on that day or weekend, and that'll happen. That seems to be, I mean, we had a tornado hit us. Okay, there you go. You know, we had winds hit us. We were talking last night on a podcast, I said, we've had some bad luck in our weathers of things that we put on. You know where we don't have bad luck in our weather? Where's the one place we really have run, it's during Bike Week, that we really haven't run into bad weather?
Our Boardwalk Bike Show, I guess it is.
Yep. We have been super lucky with that Boardwalk Bike Show.
I know at Oktoberfest we had to cancel the
Saturday.
Speedway,
But Friday we got it in.
Yep, we got it.
And we've been super lucky at Bike Week and Biketoberfest on our Friday Boardwalk Bike shows. And because think about it, we don't have but our tent, and we put all the sound equipment out there on the stage. The stage is on the beach. You know, it could get really bad really quick out there because we're right on the Daytona beach. But we've been lucky every
but I tell
twice
you,
a year.
Starting with Sturgis, just about every weekend, one of them major bike fests are happening. I mean, and you talked about in the November and stuff like that. You still got the Lone Star Rally in Galveston that I understand is still on. You know, so
I haven't looked into that.
Not the Lone Star, the Lone Star Rally in Galveston. You know, and
well, Jersky's watching. I know he was. What's up, Jersky? When was Ohio Bike Fest? Didn't they have to cancel that too? The Ohio Bike Week. That was up in Sandusky. I want to say they had to change. I was wondering if they changed that or if they just straight up canceled it and they're going to just wait till next year.
I don't know. The way I understand it is a lot of these thought with coronavirus, if they canceled it, insurances would come in and pay off. And insurance are saying, no, we're not because you're canceled, you know. So I think that's where some of this happened is they're kind of and a lot of these promoters, Tony, you've been there. You know what I say. They put up a lot of money up front, and you can't just write that money off. You know.
Well, and insurance isn't going to take care of that. You would have to, you know, when the tornado hit us, you know, the option was, do we cancel Saturday, Sunday? Because
and fight with the insurance company?
You know, we might not have had a stage. Should we? You know, that wasn't an option. You have to refund everybody's money of all the tickets you've done. And the things you don't think about. Let's see. You have to room and board the people that are running the sound and lights. You got to pay for the sound and lights. You got to pay for the stage. You got to pay for the garbage bags, the garbage cans, the people to empty the garbage cans and refill them, the bar backs, the bartenders, the bars themselves.
And that's all stuff. And that's all stuff you pay up front. And in the fine print, you don't get that back. No matter.
We can keep going. Volunteers, racks and signs, signage, racks. Someone running parking lots. Somebody running the back of the alcohol. Who's how many cases are going out? How many cases are coming in? It's a logistical nightmare for us to put on that. And we did it with what, 6 of us. And basically my entire family came out.
Jeremy said if it's a go, they're going to change the dates.
Okay, so good.
I'm
because
sure they're searching for dates too. And that's the thing. Even they talked about the stadium tour, Motley Crue and stuff like that. Like, oh, it's going to be canceled. Each promoter at each stop has already had to put up $5 million for each of those stadium shows. They can't. That's not money they just got laying around collecting dust somewhere. And so that's why you see a lot of them really, not wanting to cancel because that money's gone and they never get it back.
And what's crazy is the backlash. It's not that COVID shut us down. Okay, yes, we all know that. We've been through that. It's now the restructuring of what's going to happen with the things that were planned or didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, Leesburg would have happened in the middle of this. Now it's moved to November. Well, what's the what happens now that that's moved to November? What was on that weekend? What has to move from there? And what's it before and after? You're telling me you have Leesburg Bike Fest and St. Pete Beach Bike Fest 2 weekends in a row. I don't know if I'm going to have money to be able to do both those. You know, that's the next question is, if I'm going to go spend money and have a good time at Leesburg, am I going to be able to go spend another $200, $300, $400, $500 the next weekend at St. Pete Beach Bike Fest? So it's going to stack up real fast.
And that's why sponsors are so important to us, you know, to make this all happen and stuff like that.
I'm talking a regular person getting out and going.
But yeah, just your folks, you know, and but they got to get them in to at least try to. They got to at least try to have the event. Now they can recoup some of the money if it's not successful, but they got to. Even they went down to, everybody asked, why did they have WrestleMania? Well, there was a reason why they did it, because the insurance said, we're not paying off all this money you've done invested. So they still had the WrestleMania over at their studios in Orlando.
Did it happen? Did you get to watch it?
They did it over a 2-day event. You know, it wasn't the same because it was just in their studios over there. But they were backed in that corner where they couldn't just write it off and cancel it all together, because
the crowd is super important for wrestling too, because you have heels and you have heroes and you have and when the heel comes out, you boo him and he takes and he's like, yeah, bring on the boos. If you never watch wrestling, the crowd is part of the show. So to not do it with the crowd, whoo, that's tough, because you gotta, you know, oh, he's in the ropes. Oh, the good guys come running out of the back and save the day, and it's like, if you don't have the crowd going, oh, look, there he is, and they start cheering, you don't know what's going on.
And of course, this past Monday, you know, we have a lot of wrestlers live around here, and Becky Lynch announced that she was expecting her first child. She was the women's champion. So congratulations to her and Seth Rollins, you know, and it's pretty cool. You know, we do get to see a lot of the wrestlers. They'll come out to some of the bike nights or some events every now and again.
I want to see Batista.
Chamberlain comes out a lot.
Chamberlain comes out a lot, but I hear Batista rides around here all the time. Of course, you know him as Drax from, if you don't know him as Batista, you know him as Drax on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Also, John Cena lives in the area, you know, and so many others. So every now and again.
Gronk, who is the People's Champ right now, does he still have it?
I don't know if he's a 24/7 champ or not.
I'm not sure. He is a 24/7 champ. Boy, I'm nerding out a little bit here. I didn't realize there was so much in wrestling.
Every now and again, Hulk Hogan to come around, you know, just all, you know, it's so yeah. So when we bring up professional wrestling a little bit, so we have so many around, and they do support. Jimmy Hart has come out to events for us before.
I will superfly Jimmy Snuka you all day long off the top rope. You have no idea.
But his daughter's now back in the business and everything else. So that's why, you know, we got to show a love to the professional wrestlers, because we do have a lot here in the area.
Real quick, Alana says I'm an event planner. Can't even imagine. Robin Hawk, she knows. She puts on events all the time. She says, you have no idea how much it takes. Valerie's watching still. Romy's watching. A lot of people watching the show today. I love it.
Look at us. We're the expo. We're already talking about moving the expo back to after Bike Week, because
I really like this idea.
And of course, we got the Super Bowl that kind of is the 800-pound gorilla in the room for February.
I could one hand ready. Here's the reason why we're leaving February. February. You got Strawberry Festival fair and fair right away, right in the state fair. That state fair has fallen on our weekend and taken away people from coming from the expo. You get those two out of the way. You got the Super Bowl there.
Now, right now, the Super Bowl is scheduled, I think, for February 4th, but that could slide back. They've worked with the city of Tampa, and if they do have to slide some weeks back, they gave them, I think, a whole month of Sundays.
We were the weekend after the Super Bowl. Like I said with that, if you're going to parties and the Super Bowls here, you're not going to not go to a Super Bowl party in this area, all right? Especially if there's a chance to meet a Gronk or a Tom Brady. You're going to go spend that money. You're not going to have money for an expo after that.
And then, of course, Lucy has her event down in Sarasota that usually
right after,
followed us. You know, so
well, I'm going to move it. We're definitely going to move it. Weather's the number one. I mean, weather and other events are number one, number two. We're looking at the last weekend in March, because March, as everybody knows, the saying, comes in like a lion and out like a
kitten.
A lamb, you know what I mean? Kitten, he says. But it goes out like a lamb. So if March is better weather, and there's even a phrase for it, March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb, why don't we go to the end of March, after Bike Week, after everybody gets their bike built for Bike Week, we can advertise at Bike Week to the hundreds of thousands of people that come there. We can find bikes for the build-off. We can talk to vendors. It makes perfect sense.
And we kind of fit in that slot because everybody's going to be Bike Fest up. I mean, October, you talk about Cody River Bike Fest, then Biketoberfest, then up to Panama City, then Myrtle Beach is all in that area, and then like now all the ones moving back, Arcadia moving back to November, along with Leesburg and everything else. Then we got it right here. Gibtown has announced their dates. And
Gibtown, let me tell you, stepped up and knows what we're going through with Full Throttle Magazine and really said, you know what, we're 100% with Full Throttle Magazine, and Fran Hosh. We want to put an ad in the book and let people know when our dates are, and we want to buy an ad for the next few months and prepay for it and help you guys out. And I was like, and I know that sounds... Again, I hate talking money and talking finances and stuff like that, but Full Throttle came to an abrupt stop. March 15th, when they stopped Bike Week, I knew nobody paid for ads in March, or half of the people paid for ads in March. We didn't sell an ad in April, and barely and sold a few ads in May to get the book printed. It's been an abrupt stop, and it's been tough. I mean, everybody's got it tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here crying the blues or anything like that. I'm just saying it's like, okay, I've sold bikes, I've sold golf carts, I've sold guitars, I've sold square units, I've sold trailers just to make ends meet here, and I'm making it happen. I love it. I love the challenge. It's like, you know what? Okay, we've had a tornado hit us. Great. The biker community came through and we built it up and showed unity and we had the event. All right. Well, here's some COVID for you too. Well, great. The biker community stepping up and buying some ads and doing what they got to do and helping us because I want to help the community. It's my livelihood, as well as I do. If I didn't work in this industry, I'd still be a damn biker.
Yep.
I love the community. I love the people. I love the charity aspects. Georgia Boy's okay sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. He's sitting over there. But you know what I mean? It's the community itself will help its own community and those beyond, I see you flipping through. We got some good ads in the book this month. They're doing that meet and greet for the old gyms. Flip back. You have the old Jim's Hog chapter is doing a meet and greet at Quaker Steak and Lube. I think it's after that one.
Getting close.
You lost it.
Saw it.
There it is, bottom left.
Yep.
They're doing a meet and greet there. When is that?
June 14th.
June 14th at Quaker Steak and Lube. The old Hog chapter for Jim's Harley Davidson is going to come out there. You got Unlimited. The Bagger Works Unlimited, and at our offices in Full Throttle Magazine, he's actually going up to a audio competition right now, taking his bike, and Paul DiGregorio is going to do a great job up there. His bike is tuned phenomenally. I hope he does good because he's been doing a lot of work on that bike to the point where he gets the cops called on us at least once a week. At least once a week at the office, he's been jamming that bike, and we're going. And I was working one day, and I see two cops come in. I'm like, I didn't do it. I'm like, he's like, well, we have a noise ordinance complaint. So we walk out back, and he's got the door shut, and he's still loud enough where the neighbors are complaining. I said, okay, you're doing something right here.
Yep. So got Saggy Bags has been sticking with us. They've stayed with us. So High Tech is still in here.
I want to talk about Revelation 1. Revelation 1 has taken bikes to Sturgis. We were talking about Sturgis. I bought the ad up there. So Revelation 1 Concepts is Jim, awesome dude. You guys, if you want to get your bike out there and fly out to Sturgis, this is the best way to do it. He will get your bike out there. If you're planning to go, you have your bike shipped with Revelation 1 Concepts. You got the number right there, 386-690-REV1. That is 7381. I can't see it from here, but 7381. Call Jim. He's got a professional rig. He moves bikes up and down the East Coast and anything you need right there. Revelation 1. Call Jim James. I don't know if he likes Jim or James. I've called them both. But if you need something moved, he specializes in Harley Davidson dealership, trades, and auctions up and down the East Coast. So there you go. That's the guy right there. If you want to ship your bike out to Sturgis and fly out there, definitely get with Revelation 1. Valerie, we pulled your thing up. Let's bring Valerie's ad up again. Don't forget they're doing a TV show live here on Saturdays at noon. Rider Now TV. It's a charity and benefit-driven multimedia broadcast every Saturday at noon beginning May 2nd. So they've already done the first two, I think. Yeah, they've done two. which is really cool. They had Nova Rex, the guy from Kenny, what's his name, from Nova Rex?
Yep.
And then they've had Steve Chamberlain on there. So
yeah, Kenny drives me bad. He wanting to play the Expo or something. So maybe this next year we can get.
We'll bring Nova Rex in. I think we can make that happen. You know,
Yeah.
I want to get some of the bands we talk about a lot, which we haven't had a chance. What about who's the band that always plays Daytona, the Mohawk?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The guy, but he doesn't have the Mohawk anymore, does he? Or does he still have
I
it?
don't know. I didn't get to see them in there. They're from the East Coast, but you know, there's a few bands out there that we're looking at.
I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the band.
Mm-hmm.
They're always playing at Full Moon Saloon on the stage, and then
They used to play Full Moon and across the street at Dirty Harry's.
and of course we got to have Jasmine, and she's been a staple at the show at the Expo the last few years. We'll have Jasmine Kane.
I know Den of Thieves is already driving me crazy to get up there. You know,
We're going to have some great local bands, probably bring in one national act. Last year we shot our wad and did 3 national acts. This year we'll probably bring in one national act for Saturday night.
well, we just got to get started over. We're basically starting from scratch after the coronavirus thing, so you know, got to get our date set, things like that. But you know, we'll come up with something. Everybody have a good time, and then we'll start growing it again. We did it once, we'll do it again.
Oh, Charlie, we're only going to bring in one act for Saturday. I mean, it might be Kid Rock. I'm just saying, but it's just one act. You know what I mean? But you know, bring in Kid Rock for just, you know, we don't have to bring in 3.
Yeah.
He's just bringing one fantastic, you know, big act. No? Yes? What do you think?
The number behind that, I have.
There's a big number behind that.
Yeah.
We'll bring in Snoop, just like what he did last year to Buffalo Chip.
Yeah, to play an hour.
We'll bring in Snoop and Willie Nelson. Put them on the same stage.
You know, Willie Nelson, talking about that, Willie Nelson is scheduled for Buffalo Chip. He's going to be in there. ZZ Top, Shinedown, REO Speedwagon, Polo Mud, so many others. None of the bands have canceled out in Sturgis. You know, they're all still in on it.
Have you seen the stage they have
Skinner's
there?
coming back again. You know, they decided to go ahead. They were supposed to be done with the tour and stuff, but they said, you know what, we're going to come back one more time. So they're going to be out at Buffalo Chip. So it's going to be pretty fun there.
They're saying, I'm just reading now, 301 Travelers is a good band. The bands are my favorite.
That's Lance's band. You know, of course, he works with us a good bit. And
all right, well, Lance from Peggy's, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
He's probably up there. He'll be up in Sturgis, I would imagine.
It's not Sturgis, but your favorite place that has no
Hewlett, Wyoming.
Yep, he's up in Hewlett. We'll stop by and see him there.
Let's see if anybody who's watched our show could tell us what happens in Hewlett on Wednesday. Not you, on our messenger.
Hopefully they're listening, because I just said it a few minutes ago.
So we'll tell if whoever the first one that can tell us what is so special about Hewlett on Wednesday during Sturgis, we'll get you out a prize package of something. So we'll see who's
You'll win a date with Georgia Boy.
Oh, wait a second. We said a prize package.
Oh,
here.
come over here, Georgia Boy. Take your hat off. Show. He got his hide trim too. Come on, Grandpa. Don't.
Oh, Lance is in Palmetto now. Okay, so he's in Palmetto, but he will be up there. Let's see what else we got. We got the June issue. We talked about ad rates. Bobby Frisk. Oh, we got the Bobby Frisk. We got time to play his new song.
Yeah.
We got Georgia Boy.
Georgia Boy right there.
Everybody?
Oh, well, I want to run it. What do you think about that?
So. Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm talking to my ear. I'm seeing if we can get the Bobby Frisk song here. Because we played it, and I know Valerie played it.
Of course, Eddie was the one who knew what it was. No Panty Wednesday.
Was it? Of course, Eddie. So
Eddie, you're ineligible because you're associated with Full Throttle. So
I couldn't answer. He can't answer.
You know, what about the band you always tell me to get that changes costumes, the big hair,
I want to get Hairball.
Hairball.
If we get a national act and we don't get like a Lita Ford or a Winger,
well, I'm thinking Hairball is one of.
We bring in a Hairball, man. I would love it. If you've not seen Hairball, they usually play Daytona. They'll come out with the lead singer dressed like his Kiss, and then they'll switch to where he's dressed like Twisted Sister, then Van Halen. You know, they do the whole thing like that. It's a really cool band.
And you told me before, and everybody who's seen them, in fact, I had vendors telling me, bring in Hairball. And I said, okay. Now that you've told me, I've heard it from a million people, bring in Hairball, I said, okay, that's what we're going to do. I definitely want to look at Hairball.
Another thing I like is for a stage manager, they bring their own backline and everything, so I don't have to chase backlines around.
Hey, as the promoter of the event, it doesn't cost extra either to buy their backline.
I know a lot of people, of course, like, the Kiss America band. We've had them a couple of times. They do the full Kiss makeup.
They'll go out in the crowd afterwards.
We may do something. Yeah, maybe do something with it. Highway to Hell, something like that. Who knows? We got a lot.
We got some good stuff. Hey, real quick, we're going to play a video here. Of course, Bobby Frisk, sponsored by attorney Fran Hash, you know, but he put out a new song and just called me about it and said we could play it. So here we go. We'll be right back after we play this brand new song from Bobby Frisk.
Never saw it coming, but scary times, my friend. Hiding out in tiny little places, hard to comprehend. Sing a song of love and the good times, they're gonna come again. A summer dream of California sunshine coming round the bend. Yes, I'm on my way. It's time to fill your glass. Goodbye, yesterday, because this too shall pass. Close your eyes, it's alright. I'm with you in this fight. Look inside, you will find a little piece of life. I remember laughing not so long ago, walking hand in hand, with the social distance of an enemy. Tell me where to stand. In a state of constant confusion, should I stay or go? Reaching for an imaginary finish line, a marathon I know. Yes, I'm on my way. It's time to fill your glass. Goodbye, yesterday, because this too shall pass. Close your eyes, it's alright. I'm with you in this fight. Look inside, you will find a little piece of life. Looking in this fire, love can take us higher to a world we'd never seen before. Close your eyes, it's alright. I'm with you in your fight. Look inside, you will find a little piece of life. Just a little piece of life. Looking for a piece of life. Just a little piece of life.
That's a good song right there. That's, I mean, it's got a good message and everything. Great positive lyrics Romy wrote. There's Tom Lento. Tom Lento's watching. Saw Gary Ellison. Let's see, James Nickel, Valerie. Thank you very much for everything.
Tim
Fran
Lowry
Haas.
signed on.
So, Charlie, we're about 2 minutes from going here. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, just recapping. Everything starts with Sturgis. If you want to get on that Sturgis trip, make sure call Tony if you want to do the ride, or call the number up at Buffalo Chip and say, we want to camp in the Full Throttle area, because I think Tony has like a No Panties Wednesday or something scheduled for there or something.
Oh, no, that's Hewlett.
Oh,
but there you go.
A barbecue, I mean.
We're going to do a barbecue and
Yep.
have our own area set up. So we're definitely doing the ride. You know, we'll see how many people want to join us. If not, we'll just be chugging away, going up there with the bikes and everything like that.
And it goes. Thunder on the Water's been rescheduled for April 8th through the 12th of next year for the cruise, so that's been pushed back. So we'll be redoing that. And of course, congratulations to my granddaughter Amanda, lost her first tooth, and the Tooth Fairy came and visited her and left her a couple of
The
couple
Tooth
of bucks.
Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy.
Did you, you know, my mom never did a big thing for the Tooth Fairy. You put it under the pillow and there was money when you woke up. Your daughter put glitter out there, and I was like, okay, that's a lot. I mean,
no, the Tooth Fairy left a little
Now,
glitter, which
the
she came through the
question
window
is-
that her mama left open.
the question is, you know you're lying to your child. Are you okay with lying to your child?
Hey, the kid don't matter as long as there's money involved.
I'm just asking. I mean, we lie a lot to our kids about Santa, the Easter Bunny. I mean, tooth fairies. I mean, is this
Bribery goes a long way.
Bribery goes
it's
a
not
long
lying.
way,
It's
yeah.
bribery, is what it's called. All
Yeah.
right. Don't forget, Friday, May 22nd, the Beards are playing at Anchor's Bar and Grill in Newport Richey. That is a live show, so we're going to be out there by the pool. That's at the hotel. We're going to be there Friday, May 22nd. The Beards, check them out. One last thing, we'll talk about the sore ass again.
Yeah.
The game plan is Isle Morada. Hopefully they open up the keys and we can start booking rooms down there. We're about a minute out, so I want to get that information out. So we are planning on Isle Morada for Plan A. Plan B, where, Charlie?
We're going to go to, where we're going to go to, the what is the most haunted city in Florida, St. Augustine.
So if Plan A doesn't work and we can't get rooms, Plan B is going to be St. Augustine. I got 2 routes set up, all ready to go. Depending on which one happens, we're making a decision. When we go to print on the 26th, hopefully, that's about a week and a half almost until that decision has to be made and the keys open up.
And yes, we are working on the Fry Bridges run. We have not, it's probably
Looking
going to be
like July.
July, something like that. But yes, we are working on the Fry Bridges run. And
That's,
thank you, Valerie. She said an excellent show we did today. Someday, Valerie, when you're out slumming, come by and see us on the show.
And we should get Valerie
yeah,
on the show.
get
here.
Valerie out here and we do a big show.
All right. So again, stay tuned to our page and we'll let you all know what's going on. So this is it. I'm Tony from Full Throttle Magazine. Charlie, say bye to everybody.
Bye, everybody. Be safe.
Be good, everybody.